Hello everyone, this is Suresh and welcome back for another just a quick demo on using the GitHub Copilot and how to generate a prompt. Okay, so this if you are whichever you are looking is the prompt. Okay, so in this demo what we are going to do is like we are going to the application under test is the stack demo. So this is the stack demo application. So if you see at this application, this is overall applicable for uh, this is a demo application basically for to test any automation testing or functional testing. You can use this as a learning purpose. Okay, you can see password everything they have provided here. You can log out. Now what we are going to do is like we are going to use this application as our application under test and going to generate the prompt. Okay, so in this prompt we are going to generate the whole coding structure. So if you see, the structure is with all artifacts generated in respective folders. This will generate the epics, user stories, test scenarios, test cases and automated playwright tests, and it will run the execution and defect reporting. So everything this is going to help us. Okay, so this is the whole prompt. Anyway, I'll put this whole prompt in a text editor or somewhere. Maybe you can see it later. So this is going to give us a clear instructions on each and everything and then generate. So without further delay, let me copy this whole prompt. I will copy from this project name. So this is going to be my full prompt. So for this prompt, I'm going to use VS Code. So you can install the VS Code and let me create a new folder. Okay, let me put it in a personal. Okay, the stack demo. So you can call this also vibe coding. Okay, so this is basically this is going to create a folder and this folder is open now. Now I already logged into the GitHub Copilot. Okay, and in GitHub Copilot you can see there are three modes. So edit mode, ask mode and agent mode. So I'm going to use this agent mode and I'm going to use the GPT 4.1 version. Okay, so once I paste this and you can see the whole text is available here, and this is going to create the steps we provided. Okay, so let me start. Okay, so let's see the responses. This is basically called a white coding. So let's see how it is. Now you can see this has created all the epics. These are the instructions that we provided in the prompt. You can see that here. Okay, so it's keep on generating. So let's see this, and also you can see this everything is getting generated. So let's wait for this process to complete. And before that, so let's get into this folder structure. You can see user stories, test scenarios, test cases, playwright tests and defects. And at the end, it is going to create a readme file. Okay, so now in the epic, you can see the epics are in the text format for the same application and the user stories, and you can see user stories here. It's also created some user stories for us. At any point in time, we are the reviewers, so we need to review before we accept everything. We cannot blindly accept it, so we need to accept everything here and then log. Okay, so let's see where the process is. So it is creating some PHP, and let's see test cases. Yes, test cases is also generated, and now this is creating the playwright tests. You can see playwright tests is also getting generated. So this one prompt does all the job. Now you started with an empty without having anything in your workspace, but you can see you have everything here. The defect is not yet reported, and the reason is we are yet to run the test, so we will wait to run the test. So let's wait for the GitHub Copilot to process it. And also you can see what the playwright automation is and what the data needs to be entered. Everything we have provided in the prompt. Okay, and also it is generate the HTML report and provide packages and run the test. So yeah, now you can see now this is going to run the test. Okay, so before that, uh, basically what we have to do is like we need to review everything and we have to select we need to click the keep on every item. You can see this symbol as well. You can see this the symbol. So these are all Copilot generated. Okay, so in the agent page mode. So instead of going through each and everything, I'll just give keep for this demo purpose, and you can see all the symbols are out. Once this is done, uh, now this is asking to run the code. So let me give the continue. So in agentic mode, this is going to open up the terminal and run. So this is going to see it is trying to install all this. I'm not sure why this is showing an error. Let's see this. It should basically install the test, but it is not installing. So let me check in other terminal. This is a Copilot terminal. Let's try to run this code. So there is some issue. Okay, now you can see created defect sample. Now this defect is also getting generated. The defect is playwright HTML is not generated after execution and px install blah blah blah. So this gives a complete view. I think maybe I have given up, but at least you can see the power of this code. Okay, so maybe I have to tweak something little here while running the script. So in the playwright automation for the installation, I need to provide more installation guidelines and how to fix it. So that could be the reason. So let me try fix it. Let me try this manually and install. Okay, my bad. So CD, I need to get inside this playwright. Let me check the it's not working. Let's ask the Copilot what it responds. Let's see this as well. What I would say is like I will before continuing and let me stop this process so that I will have a good control over it. So I'm stopping the process. Okay, let's see now. Uh, let me control C. What is the web post says? Oh, and the script in this cause npm install because the call itself. Remove install npm install line from the scripts package dot section. So now we are getting into the debugging mode. Okay, so remove install. Okay, now I'm removing this. Okay, let me know if you want to fix. Okay, let's do one thing. Let me control C this. We will ask directly GitHub Copilot to fix it. Yes, fix the package dot. Yes, let's see what it does. So it made a fix. Basically what we did manually, we did the same. So let me keep this, and you can see the line number 7 is out. So let's continue with this now. Okay, up to date audited 5 files, so no issues. Now you can run playwright test. Yes, run the playwright test. So now let's see. Okay, now this is saying to run the command. So navigate to playwright test and npx playwright report. Okay, let's continue this. So now you can see the tests has been started executing. So they are running 12 tests using 4 workers. Let's see how this works. I'm sure. Okay, there is some miscommunication. Let's see. So let me know if you want to help the fixing. This is basically a white coding guide. So this is not a, so it shows error. See, we started with 0. As you know, we started with 0 without anything, but we have a lot of things came around, right? So this is what we need to do. Okay, so now let's talk to the copilots. Let's say want to help fixing. Yes, fix the report generation. So in the meantime, you have seen that I have never written a single line of code. Okay, so now let's stop this. Okay, so because the existing code is still running, so let me stop this. Okay, because I stopped, this has shown some report. Let's not worry about that report. Let me stop the report as well, and let me continue with this step. Okay, now this is giving the steps. Okay, now playwright test, check for playwright report. Now we have the report, some reports here. Okay, playwright report. Inside the playwright report, move or rename to reports slash. For consistent, if you want, I can update the config. Always use ensure output set to reports. So what I will do is let me again stop this process. Okay, so there are some issues in this report as well, so let's not worry about that right now, and again stop the process and now live. Yes, I would say yes, update the config, update the config for reports. Let's say this. Let's see what it does. So we did some changes in the playwright config. So now let's move on to continue. Let's see how it reports. Now read reports. The report but folder is still empty after running test. It suggests all tests may be skipped or not executed. There may be a runtime error. Check the terminal output for any errors. Skip test. Ensure at least one test is run. Try completing. Right. Let's do this. So basically this is running some tests. So let's wait for a few seconds. Okay. So would you like me to check for test errors or update your test files to ensure at least one test is run? So let's not worry about this. So let's see, there are some tests failed. Okay, so there is some problem. Okay, but here we are not going to look into the problem how we are going to solve. But anyway, what we are trying here is like we have done so many things without writing a single line of code. That is what we meant. Okay, so there is some error log like go to timeout for 330 seconds. So this is what it is showing. I would suggest to complete all the tests. Now 11 tests are run, so let it complete the 12th test. Okay, and then we'll see the reports and we'll ask the Copilot to check that. So here now it is saying no single report has been generated, so that's fine. So we will see something here. We will run back this. And here again I'm saying here our intention is not to fix the code. Here our intention is to how we are communicating with the Copilot and how we are modifying the prompts that is needed, and also how this whole system interacts with each other. That is the objective of this whole session. Okay, I'm expecting this process to complete officially, so that, and again I will try to run this. Okay, so you can see the report is generated and you can see everything is failure. Okay, so this is not a good approach. Let's see what we can do, and this will be local hosted in the local host. Now let's close this, and again I will just hit this and just try run. Now let's see how it handles. Okay, so this is, so let the test run and we'll see how this works. And in the meantime, if you want to check what is the test, so everything is getting failed 1 2 3 4. Playwright test shopping cart. Let's see what is this error. File is a common JS module. We'll ask a GitHub Copilot like the tests are failing, what can be done. What we can ask is we can ask update the test files to ensure all tests are run successfully with pass status. Successfully passed. Okay, so once this terminal gets completed, we'll ask the Copilot to work on that. Taking some time. So after this command, okay, what I will do is like I don't want to extend this. After this command, okay, everything is failed. I'm okay with that. Okay, now let me control C and let me ask the Copilot to update the test files. I made a mistake. Here you can see test files instead of test files. Okay, but anyway, so still it is using only the JS files. You can see error handling, author checkout, product catalog, and it now this is working on the shopping cart. Okay, so it made some changes. Okay, so what I would say, so it's made some changes. Let me keep everything. Okay, it's still working, so let it work. Yeah, now I'm going to keep everything without modifying anything, and again continue the run. Let's see how this works now. Even if this still fails, again this is failing everything. Okay, that is fine. Still the same results, so nothing has been successful. Okay, that's fine. So let me stop this server. Let's ask, can guide you manually locate the reports or further diagnose them? Let me know. Yes, proceed with diagnosis. Let's see what is the problem. We don't need this. Okay, at this point. So finally what we can do is like, see, once we all manually fix the issues and all, so this is going to help us to fix the issues. Okay, so once this is fix is done, okay, so typically what we can do is like we can ask the GitHub Copilot to create or update the readme.md5 for entire project along, I would say, and also okay, include the prompts used. Okay, that should be fine. Okay, let's see how this works. Okay, so now we are going to create a readme file, markdown file, and ask the prompts whichever we have used to include it in the emd file. Okay, let's see how long this is going to capture this. Okay, now the file is created. So let's check on that. So it is still working. I will preview this. Let me preview this. Okay, so this has added a lot of other things. Full project documentation, so original prompt used to generate. Okay, now I have this, let me keep it, and later what I will do is like I will just look into this code. Okay, so Mac OS and go npm install go contribution guidelines. Okay, prompt used. Okay, you can see this is my whole prompt that I had initially used. This whole prompt has been submitted. Okay, now I can just use the things like if I want, I can push this to, let me see it in a preview mode. Yeah, the preview mode is good. So I can just push this to GitHub and have this as my own project. Okay, so next step is like, okay, let me do that as well. Let me get into the terminal, git net. So let me add the git remote. So this is my bStackDemo remote. Okay, so I will use the other commands here. I think I should add, I forgot to add everything. This already exists. Good. Branch master. I will look into this. Okay, this is just a pushing to the master. I'm not sure why this is failing. Okay, I don't know whether this is the real cause, but anyway. Yeah, this is also fixed. So now my GitHub is done. So let me go and check it in the demo. Of course, this is not a working function, but at least you will know that how to create user stories and everything by using the prompt. So this is exactly how we will place it in the GitHub as well. So this is the prompt. Maybe you can modify all the things you needed and you can create it as needed. Okay, that's it for the demo. So thank you very much. Okay, if I find time, I maybe in the next video I will try to fix all the errors here, and I'll have a working project and place it over here. Okay, thank you very much and have a great day.